Good morning. It is Monday, October 27th, and I'm Janet McElligott in Los Angeles, California. I have extraordinarily disturbing news today. Overnight, the Battle of El Fasher in Sudan, in the western part, raged on, but it was a bit different. And it was a bit different because the Rapid Support Forces, who are funded and provided military equipment by the United Arab Emirates, used chemical weapons on large swaths of both the Sudanese Armed Forces troops and the civilians. And with the civilians, they then rounded them up and executed them. They put them in lines as they were bowed down, waited till they came to, and one person went down and just shot them with AK-47s. They did this at a time when the quote-unquote leadership of the Rapid Support Forces is staying at the Waldorf Astoria in Washington, D.C. The Waldorf was informed, I informed them personally, that they had the bloody leadership of a terrorist organization known as the Rapid Support Forces staying there. And Al-Ghani Al-Dagalo is walking around Washington, D.C. He is on the U.S. list of terrorists. That's not my imagination. That is the actual list by the United States government. And yet, the special advisor to the President of the United States for African Affairs, who happens to be Tiffany Trump's father-in-law, he's a former used car salesman that sold cars in Nigeria, said, oh, the Rapid Support Forces needs to protect the civilians. And he is dining with these people. I hesitate to even call them people because they seem devoid of any humanity. Speaking of being devoid of any humanity, why do we know the UAE is doing this? Because today, through Saudi Arabia, we have found out that the United Arab Emirates has purchased warplanes, and they said that they were for General Haftar, who is in the eastern half of Libya. But that's not true at all. These planes were then seen flying over Darfur. They were seen flying over Al Fasher to kill civilians. So you have the head of intelligence of the United Arab Emirates, Shitboy, who is in Washington, D.C. for meetings of the Quad, which is a failed group of foreign ministers from Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the U.S., and the UAE. So how can you say that they will help bring peace to the Sudan when it's the UAE that has funded this terrorist group? It can never work. So I am telling you, Washington, D.C., stop. Try again. The foreign minister of Sudan is in Washington right now, and he personally went after the head of intelligence of the UAE and said, how can you be so far gone? How can you be so unlike your father, who was a great man? So, Shitboy, you've gotten the message. And I have one other sad piece of information to tell you. The spokeswoman for El Fasher, who was a staff sergeant and a female, was targeted directly by the United Arab Emirates and was killed. Her name is Asia El Khalifa. And she would sneak out of town because this city has been under siege for over 500 days, and the RSF has been trying to starve them to death. She would sneak out of town to try and get a signal and tell people what was happening. So the RSF killed her. So Shitboy, Mohammed bin Zayed, believe me, the blood of this woman and every other person that you have killed is on your hands. And it will be a cold day in hell when you see your father again, because he is not in the same place that you two will be going to. For all Americans who think there's nothing you can do, I am here to tell you there is something you can do. You can write to your senator, your congressman. You can tell them that we must stop all arms sales to the UAE. We must sanction them for supporting a terrorist group. And for those of you who don't write to your congressmen or senators, can you please pray? Can you send up a prayer for these kids who are being killed, who are being starved to death? Can you ask God to give them mercy? Thank you.